focus of Chapter 3 is on the role politics play in racial domination and white power, and the whole concept of black trash. White rule created political institutions and arrangements as a way to sort of keep their power over minorities. And three qualities mentioned were how social contract is raceless, but in reality, race plays a huge role in lawmaking, in that laws usually favor whites. Also, that the society is inclusive, but it's really exclusive, and whites generally have more value than minorities. And lastly, that society is this large, good space, but really it has been kind of sectioned off, and barriers have been formed to kind of section off minorities. There are so many things about the black body and negative connotations that go with it, like the Jezebel and the Mammy. This isn't much different. The black body was viewed as evil, provocative, and dirty. Quoting the textbook, black used to mean deeply stained with dirt, soiled, dirty, foul, having dark or deadly purposes, and overall just a sign of danger and repulsion. Being black also meant you were supposed to do nigger work. So you should be doing the more dangerous jobs in the factories if you were allowed to work in them, or just overall like the fields and the grimy, gritty work. And lastly, being of color, you were seen as a virus, basically. The very language employed to describe the growing Negro menace suggested that the problem be treated like any other epidemic or virus threatening the health and security of the community. So you were just a walking disease, basically. Okay, so Chapter 9. Basically, objectification is when you treat a person like an object or thing instead of for the human being that they are. Kant's general argument is that you strip someone of their humanity. If they can be used as an object, then they are no longer fully human. Nussbaum's argument was a lot more complex. She had 7 subcategories or criteria for what it meant to be objectified. Instrumentality was basically human treating another human as a tool for themselves. Denial of autonomy. You deny that person's ability to make their own decisions or to think for themselves. Intertness. Basically, you were incapable of acting in certain ways. You weren't your own agent. Fungibility, not really sure how that's pronounced. Basically, one can be replaced with the next. You are nothing special, easily replaceable, anyone can take your place. Violability, no physical boundaries, you can be treated however the objectifier felt like. Ownership, like slavery, you could be bought, sold, owned. Denial of subjectivity, your feelings do not matter, your life does not matter. Defining objectification is not as easy as it sounds, because sometimes it's not intentional. Textbook gave an example of someone locking their friend in a room to not go out. Technically that's objectification, but not meant that way. But generally, it's concluded that one is a victim of objectification if he or she has been treated according to one or more of Nussbaum's 7 criteria. The difference between the two. Generally, Chapter 3 was just very, very race-based. It was so focused on the role that race plays in society, and white power, and white oppression, and the boundaries, and segregation faced by minorities, while Chapter 9 was really just about defining a concept being objectification. It wasn't really focused on the whole whites versus blacks. Also, Chapter 3 mentioned the problems with being black, although there are no problems. but at the time there were so many, and Chapter 9 was basically like how objectification is mistreatment of humans in general, the human population. And lastly, Chapter 3 really targeted African Americans in that they said they have it the hardest because they are lackest. So there's a lot of negativity with that. And Chapter 9 didn't really ever mention color of skin. The examples in NESPOM's 7 listings could easily be applied to slavery and the treatment of slaves back at the time, but they were never specifically mentioned. So overall, Chapter 3 was racial oppression, minorities being dominated by whites, and Chapter 9 was more of a here's what objectification means and the different